NASCAR and other very fast races, but there's also drafting in cycling.
It's crucial in cycling. In Tour de France...
So somebody in front of you, you can get an advantage from that.
You certainly can. The energy that you need to expend reduces that by maybe 30%.
So I asked Lance about that. Let's see what he says about drafting. So let's talk about drafting.
Okay.
So
it's one of the most important parts of the sport.
So presumably there's some speed below which drafting is not useful.
Right. That would be like 1 mile an hour.
No.
Anything more than...
Anything more than stationary.
Keep in mind the speed is important to talk about, but the wind is, if you say 10 miles an hour, that's not very fast. But if the wind is 50 miles an hour in your face, 10 miles an hour is pretty fast.
Right.
So your draft, it goes up exponentially. Right. The more intense the wind is, the direction of the wind, right? Obviously, if it's right in front of you, you stay right behind the rider that's in front of you. Mm-hmm. If the wind is from the left, then you inch over to the right.
Oh, okay.
So you just find, this is why I say NASCAR, you find that sweet spot of where that draft is, mm-hmm. right? And then of course, that just gets multiplied. If there's one rider in front of you, you have a draft. If there are 100 riders in front of you, you're not even pedaling.
So Max, this sounds lazy. First of all,
yeah.
And diabolical, because you're exploiting the energy of the leader.
Yeah.
So then why does anyone lead the race?
Because that's their job, because their team leader may be behind them. So they may be a domestique, one of these servants, to go at the front to take the brunt of the wind, so the people behind their team leader can save their energy by slipstreaming.
Now, what if the servant wins?
That's good.
That doesn't happen, Scott. That doesn't happen.
No one's ever gone rogue?
People go rogue on one day, but the next day, suddenly they find they don't get out of the caravan.
So if you're in the back of the pack, however, and someone trips or whatever falls, then there's a domino effect, and the lead cyclist just keeps going ahead.
That's right. That's why some people want to be at the front to avoid the crashes that happen in the peloton, the bunch.
Or cause a few.
Yep, that's right.
But so the peloton, I guess that's French, that is the pack?
That's right. That's the whole bunch of riders going along the road.
That are forming their own aerodynamic system.
That's right, and it changes, it moves. Some people go to the front to take a turn at the front. They're sent up the road by their captains to go and take the brunt of the wind, and others tuck in behind.
Now, I've never witnessed this, but I'm told that birds actually exchange place in the front when they're flying through the air in their flocks.
There's been some mathematics comparing the two, and particularly interesting is penguins huddling. You know, penguins huddle to shelter each other from the cold, icy winds, and they actually take it in turns to go to the outside of the flock to shelter their friends, and then after a while they go back in. And their movement is very similar to the way that the peloton moves, the dynamics of the bunch.
So you know what time it is now, Scott?